welcome back to Call Sheet Confessions. Today, my guest is a friend from home, and now she's in LA pursuing her dance dreams. Some of her credits include performing with Twice at the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and she's currently on tour with BTS, but stopping here on the pod while she's in town. My guest is Reagan Hewes. Welcome, Reagan.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here.
Me too.
This is
I'm
my
so
first
excited.
podcast.
Yay! So, take us back. Growing up in Pennsylvania, what was it like? How did you get interested in dance?
Okay, I grew up in like a very small town, as you know, super
Yeah.
small like country town in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, like super small studio. I got put into dance super young by my mom, and it was always like I did other things, but dance was always like the one that stuck. So it was like, oh, I did soccer and dance, or I did gymnastics and dance, but it was like dance was always like there. So then,
Totally.
yeah, I kind of just like grew up loving it naturally. Like my siblings did it. Like my sister still currently dances. My mom danced when she was younger, so runs in the family for sure. But I would say like I really like started taking it seriously like once like middle school hit, and I like realized it was something I like wanted to do professionally.
Yeah, I relate to that a lot. Growing up, my mom like tried to get me to do lacrosse and I was like, just put me back in dance. I did like a year of basketball. I was like, I want to go back to dance. Like when it sticks, you know that's like what you should be doing.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So in middle school, you started knowing that you wanted to take this professionally. So then, did your training increase? What sort of training did you start doing?
Yeah, I would say my training definitely, I wouldn't even say increased, but I definitely just like had like a newfound like, I wouldn't say passion for it, but like I definitely took it like a lot more seriously and like started like studying like it more in depth than just like I'm here because I love it and I'm having fun and I'm with my friends. And it was also more like, how do I like progress to the next level and like prepare myself to like step into a professional world from the resources I have here, which luckily like I was in a town where it was very small, but there was like a bunch of great like teams I was on. I had like a couple hip hop teams that I loved, and my home studio was like super supportive, super like family oriented. So like luckily there was never anything that like kind of like drew me away from it.
Yeah.
In like a drama sense or just like a toxicity sense, because we all know like the dance world can be, especially like if you're competing, like that can be very, it can get a little messy sometimes.
Absolutely.
But no, luckily I was at a studio that was like great. I literally have no complaints.
That's really nice because, like you said, in a lot of dance studios, it can get toxic and catty, and dance competitions can get crazy. So that's really nice that you had like a nice foundation and people got along.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So then you started competing?
So my studio was never a competition studio.
Okay.
I think that's kind of how we like maintained the like environment that we had. But we were like a performance studio, so we would perform a lot. But my hip hop company, shout out Reverb, it's not a thing anymore, but was competitive, and so we would compete at like Monsters, and I know some people went to Chaos, and like we did World of Dance, and so like, but those competitions weren't really like the same as like a normal dance like competition, as you would say. Like it's cutthroat in a different way, but
it's like competitions but not convention worlds.
Yeah, for sure. So those were, it was once again like super fun, and like while of course like we cared and we trained and we took it really seriously, we cleaned everything, like we also still like very much instilled the fact that like, hey, like we're here because we love it and we're having fun, so like let's not want to kill each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So then that got you into like the hip hop world, commercial world. Did you know you wanted to dance commercial, or were you interested in like technique and modern as well?
Oh, I was definitely a commercial girly from the jump. Yeah. I will say though, like contemporary has a special place in my heart. Like I love contemporary, but I was never like a super technical girl. Like I could never like really put my leg above my head or like hit a billion turns. Yeah. But I love just like the like rawness and like the like freedom that came with like a lot of the commercial styles, and like how there was like, not that there's not in other styles, but like the different styles within the style, and like you could just, it felt, for me at least, I felt more comfortable expressing myself in that way, like in those styles. So like I knew pretty early on that like hip hop and like jazz and like that whole world was like definitely where I wanted to like focus.
Yeah, I was the same way. I grew up training and everything, but every time jazz came around or hip hop came around, like I was always
Like,
more excited for that class.
No one conventions. I was like, so when are we with?
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. I think, like you said, the rawness and like the more freedom there, because I feel like with technical styles, there's a real specificity, and you do get to express yourself in contemporary, which I think that's why you like it, and that's why I like it as well. But I just felt more like I could be myself when I was in a hip hop or jazz.
Yes,
You know?
for sure. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely like a technique to those too. Like
There is,
there is a correct way to do it, but it's like you can manipulate the technique still.
Yeah.
Like keep it technically correct, but like still put your own spin on it and it not be wrong. You know what I'm
Totally,
saying?
because there's those foundations in
Yeah.
hip hop, but you can kind of add your own spice to it.
Yeah.
So you then became involved with Ash, Artist Simply Human. Yes. How did that happen, going from the non-convention world to then being more involved?
My studio, I think it was like my freshman year. I think was the first year that I attended Ash. It was like 2019, and like I just had a blast. Like it was so fun. I loved the faculty. It was like I think it was a great convention to like ease me into the convention world. Like I had never been to a convention before that, and that was just like a very like I don't know, it was a very positive experience all around. And like down to like I ended up like meeting some of the people that were like dancers on like their company or like some of the assistants, and even they were like super welcoming, super friendly, and I don't know, Ash was like it was intimidating because it was my first convention, but I got there and I was like, okay, like this isn't that bad. Like I understand like why this is like so popular in the dance world now.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Ash growing up. I felt like it was
Yes.
a little bit more of a supportive environment than a lot of the other competitions. Like,
Yes.
it's a little less intimidating, but you were still getting incredible training, like you said,
Yes.
incredible faculty. Yeah, I always really loved that competition.
Yeah, and like I always loved like the performance like that everyone could go to at night. Like it was like a competition, but it wasn't like first, second, third place in the sense of like one person's getting everything. Like you still get your feedback and everything, but they're not like hitting you against each other or anything, which like I don't know. It was just like super fun. Like you still got to perform and like you got to watch all the other like studios from your area.
Yeah.
It was just so fun. No, yeah, that was definitely a fun time.
And such a great part of like your journey too.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. I stayed for a few years, and then like I think after my second year, I ended up joining Ash Company, which was so much fun. I like made some of like my best friends through that. Like still talk to them to this day.
Aw.
I like still go back. I just recently like in January like went back and went to an Ash City to like see everybody, and it was so fun. I only got to stay for one night, but it was like I don't know, it was just like a fun little family reunion. I loved it.
Totally.
Yeah.
So then from your experience with Ash and then getting to that point where you're graduating high school, what was the decision? Were you like, I'm going to college? Were you not sure? What was your game plan?
So that was always like a tricky topic for me. There was a lot of back and forth, especially because I have like siblings who are like so bright and so smart, and like they went on to have like very successful like educational paths. And so obviously as like coming up to be like, I want to dance, my parents were like, okay. But like it was hard like being the first one in my family. Like no one has ever like really like taken something like a creative professional route where it's like not the usual like go to college, get a degree. Yeah, not the traditional path. So it was like finding the happy medium of like my parents were very like set on like they still wanted me to like go to a school and like get some sort of degree, even if it was a dance degree. But it's like, as you know, as a dancer, I was like, I don't know if that was like fully like what I wanted. Like you can come out here and like make your own path, and you don't need to fully go to school for it, because that's like also very costly, like costs a lot of money, and it's a big commitment. But it like kind of like all randomly fell into place because Ash has like an affiliation with AMDA. And so like we had heard of that, and I was like, we started looking into that because that's like a performing arts college. So it's like still going to school, but I'm also like there for dance. And that like made LA more attainable, because I knew as I wanted to do commercial dancing that like LA is definitely more, I would say, a hub for that. Like don't get me wrong, New York has a huge hub for it, but I would say there is like more of like a theatrical, like technical world in New York than there is in LA.
Absolutely. Because you have
So-
Broadway in New York.
Yeah,
Broadway's
like
not
it's like
here.
the big Broadway
Yeah.
hub over there.
Meanwhile,
and so
all artists come and live here.
yeah, a lot of like the commercial world, not even dance wise, is in LA. So
Yeah.
like a lot of the job opportunities seem to present themselves here. So I always kind of like knew that like this was like where I was hoping to head. But
Yeah.
coming from the East Coast, like that's a big move. So
It
like
is.
finding a way to like get from point A to point B
Right.
was where we were struggling. And so AMDA was also, they had the LA campus, and I was like, okay, like this is seeming like something that like is a good idea. Like this could work out. This could be good. So I set up my audition. I got my parents on board, and it was like we'll see. Like I'll go do the audition. I still applied to some other colleges, but I ended up doing the audition. It went great. I was very lucky to get a scholarship from them. So that helped with like financially. And then the top school that I applied to that was not dance wise, I was going to go for business. I didn't end up getting into. So it
Okay.
kind of just seemed like the universe was closing all the doors that I wasn't meant to go to, and
Yeah.
like left this one open. And so it was like, okay, like this is what I'm going to do. And so, yeah, I ended up committing to AMDA, and I moved out to LA and started my freshman year at AMDA in October of 2023.
Yeah, and it that opportunity with AMDA was like, all right, this is the opportunity for me to get out to LA.
Yes.
Because you're trying to figure it out. And like you said, it is a big move moving across the country. And you're thinking financially, what's going on? Or I remember after like graduating high school, my mom was like, you either need to go to college or get a job. Like you can't do nothing. Like you
You got to
need
do something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you got to be doing something with your time, either going to school or figuring out a way to make money. Like my mom never forced me to go to college or like shoved that down my throat. Like she was like, I think, people that are creative, college isn't always the right path
Yeah.
for them. And I know
For
you're going to
sure.
be successful in either way that you choose, but like we got to do something here. So I think, and I ended up going to college, which was great. But I think like that opportunity presented itself of coming to LA and got you out here. So it made more sense
Yeah.
probably to you and to your family of like, all right, well, at least we know what she's doing. She's going out there. She's doing this, And so you started at AMDA. When did you make the decision to leave AMDA?
So it was truly like a really like last minute decision. I did my whole first year there. I loved it. It was great. I met some of my closest friends that I'm still currently friends with. I ended up like living with one of my freshman year roommates like an entire year after. We ended up like kind of dropping out together. But it was never like I left because I didn't like the program or I didn't enjoy it or I felt like it wasn't good. It just like felt like it wasn't the right fit for me. And so I went home that summer. I like fully intended on going back for my second year. And then as we like started the process of getting me back out there, I was heading back out earlier in August to start working horror nights for Universal, which is something I'm happy to talk about later. But we kind of started talking about, I was like, I don't know if I want to do 4 years though, because I started talking to some of my mentors and like people I had met that past year, like who were like in the industry, and they were just saying like, it's great, but it's not a necessity. So if it's not something like you're in love with, like that's a lot of money to put down for that.
Yeah.
So I started talking to my parents about like potentially like going from the 4-year to the 2-year program. And then it kind of just turned into, it was really funny how it came about. I think I was like on FaceTime with my mom. Like literally this was maybe 2 weeks before I was supposed to go back. And I like cracked a joke. I was like, oh, like what if I just didn't go? And she was like, no, like we actually thought about that. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was something y'all were open to. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so once I realized that they weren't against the idea of that, I knew that that's kind of where my heart wanted to go with that. And so I started having like more serious conversations like logistically of like, okay, well, if I'm not going to go back to school, like I need to figure it out. Like what am I going to do to like keep me out here, and like in the meantime, like like pay the bills, like keep my apartment, like all the things. And so I ended up like bringing that up to my roommate, and she was feeling the same way. And so we kind of like made that joint decision to just like for our careers that like that just wasn't like our best option.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it's a hard decision to make, especially when you're loving the program. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not really enjoying my time here, but is it, even though I love this program at this college, is it still the right decision for me to continue at college? Because, like you said, it's a lot of money. And when you're pursuing a creative career that doesn't necessarily need a degree, what's the right decision to
for
make, you
sure.
know? But I'm glad that you were able to talk it over with your family and with your roommate. And I think that's cool that your mom was kind of like, we were thinking it too. Because I know that feeling
Yeah.
of like, oh, I didn't even know you were
Yeah,
thinking
like,
that. But now that you do think that,
Now that I know that,
that's an option.
now we can like actually put that out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So making the decision to kind of step away from school, but knowing you want to be in LA, you want to dance, now you need to find a way to pay the bills. So what was the next step?
So we can kind of circle back to Horror Nights.
Yeah.
I had auditioned for that just because like I like another like little niche like thing I'm obsessed with is I love scary movies. Like I just love the whole genre of it. I think it's so interesting.
Yeah.
And so I knew of Horror Nights, like I had attended before, and I was like, that would be such like a fun thing just to like help me like start paying the bills on my apartment, because I was moving into an apartment regardless of whether I went back to AMDA or not. So I had auditioned for that at the end of my freshman year. It was like those auditions were held, I would say, in like May or June.
Okay.
So I did that, and then I went home for the summer, found out that like I got casted for that. And so I was able to like kind of like set myself up for the first like few months at least. So I came back and I started working Horror Nights, and that ran for a few months. That was like a great consistent thing. It was
Yeah.
like they were pretty lenient like if I needed to like call out for like dance stuff, but it was like a big time commitment at the same time. Like it was every day for like 12 hours we were there, because we had to get there
Yeah.
super early for like costumes and makeup and like all of that jazz. And so we only had like 2 days off a week, so it was like 5 days a week, like the normal like 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Like, fairly long hours, but the hours were like 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. So it was like I kind of wasn't
Yeah.
really able
like a
to do much with the
production
next morning.
schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So I wasn't able to do much with my next morning because I was like, I need to sleep. Like, you know, when do I
Right.
sleep?
So it's kind of
And so-
eating up your time. Like you
Yeah,
said.
it was one of those. I loved it, and I honestly think if I need to, I would do it again.
Yeah.
It was super fun. I was a
I
Megan
love
doll.
Horror Nights.
I
Oh,
know.
Yes. I
was a
remember
Megan doll.
I
Yes.
came. Yeah.
Yes, I was in like Terror Tram, and I was a Megan doll. It was so fun.
What was the audition for Horror Nights
Oh
like?
my gosh. That audition process was like definitely like nothing I have ever experienced
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So like we like came, and you know, the numbers, like we had us in a room, and I came like dance audition ready. Like I was in
Yeah.
like my like Lulu Studio pants and like a black top with like my headshot and resume. Like I was like prepared to like go in, and because I've never done an audition like this.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more chill. Like it was super quick. We like went in, they gave us just like scenarios to act out. But you were like in a group with other people, so like we were also watching other people act these scenarios, and like it wasn't like I wasn't laughing at them in any sort, but I was just like, I've never done something like this. Like I don't really like I've never like acted in a sense. And so I
Yeah.
was like, what do I do? They were like one of them was, it was like we had to like we had the choice of like we could do it any way we want, but like pretend to like die. I was like,
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
Right. I was like, oh, okay. And so like people were getting really creative with it, and I was like,
Wow.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you're like, I'm
So like I literally blacked out in that moment. I don't think I even remember what I did. It was definitely an experience, but it was fun. Don't get me wrong. So it was fun getting to like do something I'd never done.
Yeah, push yourself outside your comfort
Yeah,
zone.
and I think it was like everyone else really committed to it, so I was like not super embarrassed to like, you know, I'm also
Yeah.
gonna go in and commit to it, and it worked out, and I got casted, and it was a great experience. I also like gained like a really great friend from it. Like overall, that was like a great like job, like
Yeah.
day job that was like still in the entertainment world, I
Right.
would say. So that was awesome. And then of course like just having to work like the regular like dancer day jobs. Like I worked in retail just to kind of like pay the bills, so I
Yeah.
could also stay out in LA and do what I wanted to do. So it was kind of trying to find that happy medium of like finding these jobs, which were so hard, may I add. Finding a job out here is so hard.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like nowhere was hiring.
Because everyone also
or, like,
wants those
you get an
retail
interview,
jobs
but,
here.
like,
Yeah.
they would never reach back out to you. And I was just like, damn, like, this is hard. So there was, like, a few months there where, like, bless my family, they were so supportive and, like, helped support me while I was, like, looking for a job.
Yeah.
But luckily I found a job. I worked literally at, like, Nordstrom, sold clothes. It was great. I was able to get by with that. And then luckily some dance stuff started happening. So, yeah.
Yeah. So while you were doing the job at Nordstrom and Horror Nights and figuring it out, how were you still actively pursuing dance? Like, what classes were you taking? What was that training schedule looking like?
Yes, it was a lot of, like, when I first got the retail job, Horror Nights, I will say, I definitely wasn't able to train as much with that schedule just because it ran through the night, which is when, like, a lot of, I would say, like, classes happen most of the time. So,
True.
yeah, most classes are at night. So that was a little bit tough, but I was like, it was kind of a balance I was, like, willing to do for a little bit because it was, like, a sacrifice. I kind of had to do it. And so
Horror Nights is, like, a couple months. It's not, like...
Yeah, it wasn't, like, a long-term thing. It was, like,
right.
3 months, I think, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And so I was able to find a job at Nordstrom, and so I kind of knew going into it, like, I have, like, your regular weekly classes that I take every week. And so I kind of, like, relatively knew, like, what my training schedule looked like. And so I was able to, like, hey, like, I can work this day, and this day till this time. So I could kind of, like, almost maneuver it in a way that I could still make at least some of the classes that I like to take. Or maybe if I couldn't every week, like, I'd say, hey, like, next week I can't do this day. Or, like, it was a lot of also, like, seeing if I could find people to cover, if there was, like, a master class happening. Or, like, an audition comes up, I need to find coverage. And it was just, like, if I can't find coverage, I can't go to the audition. So it was, like...
Yeah.
It was tough, definitely, but, you know, it's part of it, for sure. It's not all glitz and glamour, and that's definitely...
Totally. And every creative feels that. There's points where you're struggling to pay the bills. There's points where you need to get that day job, and you have to make those sacrifices of, all right, I want to do this, but I need to pay the bills. Like, you know, it's adulting at its finest.
No, literally adulting at.
Yeah. Yeah, so you were then able to kind of keep up with your training and kind of arrange your schedule, you know. How or when did those dance opportunities and paid jobs start appearing?
It took a while. That's definitely, like, another tough one that was, like, a lot of no's and just, like, a lot of, like, radio silence on, like, I'd be training all the time, but it's, like, not a lot of, like, job opportunities, like, really, like, present themselves, especially, like, being unsigned. Like, I didn't have an agency to, like, send me auditions or anything. So if I ever heard of anything, it had to be, like, an open audition that, like, my friends heard about or, like, they heard about through their agency that they could, like, share with me.
Yeah.
And things like that. So I would say it was, like, it was, like, almost 2 years on the dot until I got, like, my first, like, big job. But I did, like, small music videos here and there. I did, like, some background stuff, like, little things just to kind of, like, put on the resume to have there.
Right.
It's, like, maybe even, like, some placeholders until, like, bigger stuff comes along. But, like, it also gave me kind of, like, a taste as to, like, what I'd be getting myself into without, like, fully being, like, thrown into the sharks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I got, like, the call for my first big job in October of 2025. So it was, like, I moved to LA October of 2023, like, almost 2 years on the dot. I got that call, which was, like, super exciting. It was for the Victoria's Secret fashion show, which was, like, literally
awesome.
so insane.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? And it happened to be happening, like, in New York. So I was like, it's also close to home.
Yeah.
Like, that was just, like, a super, like, full, like, circle moment. And I was like, it's definitely, like, hearing nothing for a while, it can, like, beat you down a little bit. And you could start to, like, have that, like, mindset of, like, is this going to work out? Like, am I doing the right things to get to where I need to go? Like, it's definitely a tricky, like, headspace to be in.
Totally.
But, yeah, that was definitely, like, super reassuring. And I think, like, in the meantime, when I wasn't getting a job like that, definitely, like, talking to people. I got to talk to a lot of people who are, like, actively working. And they also shared with me, like, hey, like, most things I got weren't through my agent, which was like really nice to hear that it's like, okay, like it's not a necessity, like it's not going to make or break my career that I'm not with an agent right now.
Yeah.
And also they said like it's not abnormal. Like I just needed to remind myself that like this is normal. Like I'm not behind. I get that. I get in my head a lot where I'm like, I'm behind. Like there are these people my age who have been here for years. Like they're doing all this work, and I just have to remind myself that like, you know, like I'm on my own path. Like I'm not behind. Like I doing what I can and what I need to do, and like it will come when it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And so I talked to them, and they said it took them years as well. Like it's not, and like don't get me wrong, it definitely happens quicker for some people. Like it's just like the way of the world. But yeah, it was getting that first call was like the first time I was like, okay, like I'm doing this like for real.
Yeah.
Like and like knowing that like I get to go back and tell my family like, hey, like it's working out. Like I didn't do this all for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was super exciting.
Definitely
got to do that.
reassuring, like you
Yeah.
said. Yeah. And going through that time of overthinking and wondering if you're behind, we all do that. I don't think
So normal.
there's anyone that doesn't do that. We all, I mean, with social media now too, and especially with dancers, everyone's posting the jobs that they're booking. So you're constantly seeing people working, and it's like, damn, am I behind? Am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? All the things that you just said. But I love that you mentioned that, because that's something everyone experiences. Actors, when they're not booking for a while, they're submitting all these self-tapes and not getting something. Doesn't mean you're behind. You're just on your own journey. And I always think of is it Demi Moore? Demi Moore.
Demi Moore?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's in like this amazing era right now. All the success. Imagine if she stopped auditioning at
Seriously.
20 years old because she wasn't getting stuff.
Yeah, there's so many like, not even just dancers, like you said, like some music artists, like so many people I've seen that it's like they've like released art for years, and like they're just now like starting to get their flowers, and which is like, it just goes to show that like it will, like the hard work, it may take longer, but like it will pay off at some point.
Yeah.
Like, it's never for nothing. Like there will always be some sort of positive outcome to like the work and the passion that you put into something, which is like what I have to remind myself sometimes.
Yeah. And that job, Victoria's Secret fashion show, how did that come about? How, like, who gave you that call? How did you get that opportunity?
So that was a kind of crazy one. So this just goes to show, so social media, obviously, like everyone, like I feel like it's like kind of talked about a lot, that like social media has kind of become your resume now. Like you have to learn how to market yourself. Like it plays a big part in the career path. So I originally saw that like on social media, like that there was like a casting for a job. It didn't say what. And so I ended up just like sliding up on the story and just being like, hey, I'm available. Like I can work in New York. Like I have family over there. Like I can work locally. Like they ended up just like having me submit a like 20-second video of me doing like choreo for the artist, like of the artist song that was performing. And a few days later, I ended up getting the call, and that was just like, that was like a really special moment for me.
Definitely, and it's also so cool to see how the industry works now, because I think dancers used to have to really heavily rely on their agents because that's where the jobs came from. But now with social media, they're posting casting calls right there. You can submit your profile, DM, and there you go. You know, you can almost kind of book yourself and submit yourself on these things that pop up on social media. So it's really cool to see how the industry is changing in that way.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like, it's crazy. I'll be like scrolling through my Instagram feed and someone will post like, hey, looking for dancers, or like there's an audition for a music video, or it's just like, and it's literally like damn, it's right there. Like it's literally like I'm just scrolling on Instagram. Like, so it is cool to see like, like agents are awesome, and I think they are important, like from like the other side of things with like contracts and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's not a necessity that like if you don't want one, like that also won't be like a make or break thing for you.
Yeah.
So it's like that's right there. And then like going into that was also the first time that I was like people don't play, like it really is social media that like it is as important as they say they are. Like, so I've like learned to like really like, oh, you know, like you got to pin like certain posts, you got to have your headshots up, like all the different little things you hear, like really take those into account, I would say. And like, you know, I have like different styles pinned, and like I have my headshot pinned, but then it's also like I do finding that balance of like I also am like me and I have my personal life and like I do post that on my Instagram, so it's like finding like the personal to dance balance that it's like I'm still bookable, you know what I'm saying? And like all those things.
And I think it is good to show your personality because then people want to work with good people. So one, they want to see that you can dance, but two, they want to kind of get a feel for your personality. So I think it is that balance. You want to like be brand safe, brand friendly, you know, be aware of the things that you're posting, but I think it is nice to have that balance of who you are and what you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is another thing that I've heard so many times is like, it's hard out here because pretty much everyone out here is good. Like, that's why they're here.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Everyone's here is good. So it's not always like the best dancer that's getting booked or like the most talented person.
Yeah.
Or the person with the most followers. That's like a big misconception. I feel like people think that like followers are like just like having that, like, don't get me wrong, like it can be beneficial in certain instances, but it also I feel like can be damaging in some instances. Like, but it's like I know some of my most talented friends like don't have a crazy following, and I'm like they're booking jobs that it's like they're on huge things, or like a lot of people like I feel like it can get almost misconstrued that like the best dancers are the ones with the most followers, and I'm like no, like that's not the case at all in my opinion.
Totally.
And so like it's fun to see like the different ways people market themselves online, like like whether influencer or not, like, and you can kind of like cater the way you market yourself to the type of jobs you want to book, which is also like a big part of it. So I think the way that I portray myself online, which I feel is very authentic, like I kind of just like, you know, I'm not like thinking too heavily about like, oh, is this post going to get me this job? But it is like definitely something that's like always back there.
Yeah.
Just like more of like an overarching theme of like, okay, like this is kind of like the genre. Like I like pop music and like I kind of want to live in this world. So like what classes do I take that are like relatively similar to that like style that they dance a lot, or that like that genre is like jazz funk is very pop, and so like I take I love pop, and so I take a lot of jazz funk. But I don't know, there's a lot of different ways to go about social media in the dance world, I feel.
And so. I definitely think it's just about it being a visual resume. It doesn't matter how many followers that you have, as long as, like you say, you're pinning the right posts, you're showing what you do best, what you want to do, and kind of curating to match the jobs you do want to get. Yeah, I think that's 1,000%. It's totally what it comes down to. So, Reagan, what's on your call sheet now? What does a day in your life look like touring with BTS?
So, depending on the day and like what our call time is, I probably sleep in until I like to give myself like 2 hours to get ready. Not that I like need 2 hours, but I love like leisurely being able to get ready and not feel rushed, and making sure I have all my stuff together. So I'll wake up and I usually go get breakfast wherever we're staying, and then I will come back. I always shower because I like to have fresh hair for a show. Yeah. So I'll shower, I'll dry my hair if I feel like it. I don't always blow dry my hair, but I'll pack my stuff up because I like to do like my makeup at the venue. They leave us time for that, which is nice. So I'll just kind of like throw on whatever I want to wear for like either if we have tech that day, or sometimes if we have already teched, we don't. So it just kind of depends on the day. And so we come to the venue. It's kind of just like go through our like daily routine of like all the things we need to do before a show. We get ready probably 2 hours before the show. We start to like get ourselves prepared, like hair, makeup, costume. We start the shows. Usually the shows start around like 7 or 8. We bang out the show, and then I'll always like come back and order myself like whatever like food I'm craving that night, or like see if there's somewhere walkable just to kind of like get out of my hotel room. Yeah. And then kind of repeat the next day. So it's pretty basic, nothing too crazy, but yeah.
What's your favorite part about touring with them?
I would say obviously like traveling. That was like a major thing for me. That was like super exciting because I've never like left the country before this. This was my first time leaving the country as well. So like getting to like travel the world and see all these different parts of it while also doing the thing I love was like the most prime like job I could think of. Like it's literally like everything I've dreamed of since I was a kid. So I was like, wow, like so surreal, and like seeing all the different cultures and like just like how passionate people are about their music. It's like really touching, like especially like being on stage and like seeing the fans. Like it's just like such a surreal experience, like having been on the other side of it and like being a fan in the audience. And like I'm such a fangirl to my core. Like when I like love music artists, I like really love them. And so like I love live music. I love going to concerts. So like being able to be on the other side of it was always like the goal. And so like now actually being able to do it is just like my heart is so full.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. And it's just such a great team, and I have such an awesome camp, and like the directors are awesome. The team, like, the members are great, all of them. Everything's great. Like, I really can't complain.
It's awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, like, coming from where we come from in such a small town, you know, outside of, like, far outside of Philly, where you grew up, like, and then moving to LA, such a big city, and then getting this dream job where you're getting to tour the world doing what you love to do. Like, that's the dream, and you're doing it. And, like, you gotta commend yourself for, you know, like, that's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we're gonna play some hot takes in Hollywood. So it's gonna be a quick this or that.
Okay. I love games.
Okay. Touring or staying in LA?
Touring.
Music videos or live shows?
Live shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Auditions or direct book?
Direct book. Just because I think I like have more experience with direct bookings than I do with auditions, honestly.
Yeah, and that's
would say
great. Then you don't
direct
have to audition. You just get it.
Right.
Heels or sneakers?
I want to be a heels baddie so bad.
I was
want to
gonna
be a
say-
heels girl so bad. Like, I really wish I was. And I'm going to try and, like, really get into it more. I've taken a few heels classes, but I'm going to have to go with sneakers just because
Yeah.
I feel like I live in my
I was gonna
sneakers.
say I don't even feel like I see you in sneakers as much. You wear what's the shoe you always wear? Like the brown? Is it those?
It might be these,
or like
honestly.
Uggs? Like do you wear like?
Oh, I wear, not to dance, but
Yeah.
I wear Uggs a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wear Uggs, and I have, like, those, like, fur boots.
Yes.
Like, the fur boots.
Yes.
I love my fur
That's like
boots.
the classic Reagan.
Or
look.
lately, I've been rocking my flip-flops a lot. I've been getting some heat for that,
Oh.
but I love my flip-flops. No
Hey,
shame in the
we're
game.
in LA. Like might as well.
Right.
Choreography or freestyle?
Choreography.
Yeah, totally.
But I really want to get more into freestyling as well. We have with this, like, I've definitely had a lot more opportunities to freestyle recently, which is like my heart's beating really fast, but I'm in that state of like I know this is good for me, like,
Yeah.
and so like that's exciting that I'm like, okay, like as scary as this is, like it will make me better. So
Totally.
I'm gonna have to go with choreography though.
Yeah. No, I feel
Yeah.
you. And that growth comes from uncomfortability. So putting yourself in those
Yes.
situations, forcing yourself to do it, yeah, you'll only get better at it. Early rehearsals or late night performances?
Late night performances. I'm definitely not a morning person.
Me neither, girl. Self-tape or in-person audition?
In-person audition.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's a different
Yeah, you
feeling.
just also get to like I feel like you can like show your personality more. So it's,
Totally,
like-
than just through a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dance convention or professional job?
A professional job.
Yeah. That's what we're doing the
love my
dance conventions
Yeah,
for,
I
you
love
know?
the conventions, though.
Yes. And last one, small crowd or stadium crowd?
Stadium crowd. I love like the intimacy of a small crowd, but it's like cool like being in a stadium and like still finding those intimate moments like in such a big crowd, because then it's like I feel like even more special when like you and like one person connect. Like it's like, oh, there's all these people here, but like we're having a moment, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's super fun.
Totally. All right, our next segment is fact or fiction. So we're going to bust some myths about the industry. Okay.
Okay.
The first one is if you don't have an agent, you can't work.
Fiction.
Yeah, it's fiction.
I am living proof.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely fiction in my
Yeah,
opinion.
and like we said, through social media, through networking, knowing people, you can
Yeah.
hear about auditions, find things. Like, it's not necessary. It can help, but it's definitely not
Yeah,
necessary.
it's definitely doable without an agent. They're
Yeah.
great and super helpful, but not a necessity.
Yeah. Professional dancers are working all the time.
I'm going to say fact, but let me elaborate. Fact, but actually, yeah, like just fact. We are working all the time, whether it's like working behind the scenes, just like on our resumes or like a day job to make sure we can do the other things. Like we're always
Yeah.
working in some sense, whether it's like we're not always working on a dance job, but like we're always working in some way to move it along.
Yeah.
In a sense. So
I love that answer because it's so true. Yeah. Social media followers equal success.
Fiction.
Yep.
We were just talking about that.
Yep.
Definitely fiction.
You have to know the right people to make it.
I'm going to say fiction because it's not necessarily the right people all the time. I don't know. That's a tricky one. I'm going to say fiction because I feel like you don't have to. Like, there's senses where, like, if you go into an audition and you're undeniable, like, you can be booked on that job without knowing anybody in that room.
Yeah.
Like, but networking definitely, as we know, plays a big part in it. So, knowing, it's hard. I feel like the term the right people, I feel like it's, like, dependent on the person. So, it's, like, the right people for what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, but it's like you don't have to.
Yeah, and I think a great example is that getting the job for Victoria's Secret fashion show, you didn't know them, you just submitted yourself. But then other jobs, like a direct book, you got to know that person.
Yes,
So I
exactly.
think it's just knowing people, not
Yes.
necessarily knowing the right people,
Yes.
because you never know who's going to
For sure,
have something.
because it's like you may not know that person, but you guys have a mutual friend, so it's like they can vouch or vice versa.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Yeah. And the last one is that if you're getting rejected, you're doing something wrong.
Very fiction.
Yeah.
That's another one where I'm like, I struggle with that sometimes because it's like rejection is like a hard thing not to take personally sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
And I have to remind myself that it's like, it's really not always that deep. Like it could be a look thing. Like it's 9 times out of 10, it's nothing personal. It's just you're not what they were looking for that job.
Right.
And the people that booked that job may have not booked a different job that you would have booked. So it's always like very like, it's not about you. Rejection is like such a normal thing.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to be ashamed of or take personally.
Totally. Our next segment is Crafty Corner. Reagan, what does your ideal dream crafty look like?
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to think about this one. I would say, here's my thing. I love a crafty, but like, I'm like a big, like, I love a fun drink. Like, I always need a fun drink, I feel like.
I feel like, you. Me with that.
I know that, right. I know. I don't have one right now. I say that as I don't have one right now. I'm like, I do need to be better about drinking water, though, so this is good.
That's good.
But I definitely need some sort of fun drink, whether if it's close to a show, like sometimes I'll crack open an energy drink, or me and my camp have been a big fan of pre-workout.
Okay.
But, so some sort of fun drink. I'd say I tend to like love like savory stuff.
Yeah.
So like definitely like I can do sweets, but I can't have too much of it. So if it's like I love like some chips or like the basic, or like I love those like Nutella and like pretzel things. Like I literally have one of them in my bag right now. So I'm like
go to
something like that, just like, or like a little like, what are those little Slim Jims or something, like a little beef stick to like get some protein or something.
Right.
But yeah, I don't usually like to eat like too close to showtime because I get like scared that I'm gonna like need to puke or something.
No, I did that once.
Yeah.
Like you can't because you're doing too much like strenuous activity that like you could do an aerial and then all of a sudden
no, seriously. So, or sometimes I will like get myself like a little piece of candy, like some sugar, just to like give me the little sugar boost. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think at the top of my craft list is like some sort of fun drink, whether that's like a fun soda or an energy drink or like a vitamin water, just something with like some flavor.
Yeah, that's a very solid crafty. You had the protein, the snacks, the good drinks.
They're not all there all the time. For
right.
me, like I'm not always picking up everything, but like if I had to like craft it in my head, definitely what I should have. I feel like that's about it.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Maybe some fruit too. I've been loving fruit, like really eating fruit recently.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. It's good. It's good. All right, our next segment is industry icks and your industry betrayal list. So, what is your industry ick?
I just like am never been a fan of the people in the industry that it's like, I feel like this may be a basic answer, but like the people that like feel as though they're above you because they've worked more than you. And I'm like, in my head, it's like, like we were all here at some point. So like,
Yeah.
I will never believe that like anyone's like any better just because they've worked. I feel like it's like, yes, you can like, I feel like there's a way to go about like, oh, I've done this so I can share this wisdom with you and give you advice without talking down to you.
Yeah.
Getting talked down to or like talked to like I'm like less than somebody else because they're older or they've been around longer. So like, I don't know. That's always like a big pet peeve of mine. While like, of course, like I totally like obviously like respect what you're doing, and it's just I think it's less about like, oh, like you've done more than me, but it's more about like the way they go about like sharing their wisdom and their advice with people, like whether it's like with an ego or not.
Totally.
Kind of.
Like the tone and delivery.
Yes, the tone and delivery, huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I agree with that. Like, just we're all people. We
At the
all
end of the,
bleed
right.
red. Like
Everyone was a beginner at some point, so it's like
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, we are people behind the work that we do. So to judge people or treat people according to how much they've worked is very odd. Why don't we treat people according to who they are as people?
Right.
Like
couldn't have said it better. Like exactly.
But I do think that happens a lot in the dance industry. I think people can get kind of sticky with each other and like, treat or look at people differently because of that.
For sure. Like even now, like I've just like, like I feel like people hear it all the time, but like now that I like am working on such like an amazing job and I'm all of a sudden like I come back and I feel like there definitely is like a sway in the way that like certain people have like treated me. Like some people that like it's not that they were necessarily rude, but like they didn't really give me much of the time of day before are now like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, wait a second. Like that wasn't there a few months ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like,
which
I don't know.
is ingenuine because it's
yes,
like
so it's like I know the people that like treated me with respect and support before I got this, and so it's like I don't know, being able to hold on to those people and pick them out of like the ingenuine ones is very important to me.
Yeah, as long as you have a good support system and people that will be there for you, whether you're at your lowest or at your highest, whether you're booking a job, whether it's months without work, like as long as you have those people in your corner, no matter these other people, you're like, I don't need that. I got my real support right here.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And luckily, especially being out here, I feel like there's like a stigma around like the people out here in the sense of like there are a lot of like I would say like some like fake people out here. Like it's just kind of I feel like a lot of people like it's known that like people say like LA is full of fakes, and I'm like they're not wrong, but I feel very lucky that I have found like a very solid support group and like a really good close knit group of friends, and it's like not a huge group, but like quality over quantity for sure.
Absolutely.
So I have like my family and I have my close friends, and like even like people that aren't super close, but it's like you were always nice and supportive to me, so like I'm gonna give that back to you, like no matter what stage of my career I'm in.
Yeah, totally. And there are those people, those fake people that exist out here, but I think you attract, what you put out, you will attract, and so you find those good people, and like you said, quality over quantity. Like you don't need a bunch of friends that are half-ass friends. You need some good core people and that family that has your back, and that's your unit.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Reagan, you are on Call Sheet Confessions. What is your call sheet confession?
Like what kind of like are we talking like
It can be anything. It could be failing at an audition, falling like something crazy that happened like right before going on stage, or something crazy that happened after stage, hooking up with a coworker. It could be anything.
I could gladly say I've never done that one. Not yet. But
any crazy thing we wouldn't know, like something behind the scenes, or like an epic fail or wild story.
there's like, wow. Dang, this is hard. Hold on, I'm trying to like really dig deep here. Luckily, so far, at least on this job, I haven't like had any crazy mishaps. Not yet. Knock on wood
Knock on
once
wood.
again. We still got a long time, lots of opportunity, but I would say. Oh, I actually have. I mean, I feel like this also like this may not be that crazy, but like I just remember in the moment like I was like actually freaking out, like in tears, like driving, like what the hell do I do? I like had an audition for like this like training, like a paid training program, and I remember they like sent me the thing, and I was like feeling really good. I had like prepped my pieces, I had like good outfit on, I did my hair and makeup, I felt really good, and I had a couple friends in the program, like they kind of like gave me like the rundown like before going in. And I drove all the way there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know, like, where's the building? You know what I'm saying? And so I call my friend, and I'm like, hey, like, where is it? And so he was like, I like read him, and I was like, no, like I'm here at this address, and I read him the address, and he's like, 9,000, not 900. I drove to the complete opposite side of LA. Yeah, like I was in like almost downtown, and it was in West Hollywood.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, so I'm like immediate, mind you, like that's probably like a cute 40-minute drive back.
Yeah, it is.
And I was like 10 minutes early, so I was like,
you're gonna be late.
Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah,
Holy shit, like I'm gonna be late. Like what do I do? Like I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna hate me. Like whatever. And so I like tried calling them directly, but like I couldn't get a hold of like the person running the audition.
Yeah.
And so I called my friend back, and I just had to ask him like, can you please like let them know what's going on? And luckily they were so nice and so understanding, and like I still went in and auditioned. It like wasn't like a crazy strict thing. There was like only a few of us going into audition for the program. So I got to go in and do it, and they were super friendly and super nice, but that was just like
terrifying.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, especially because that was one of like my first like auditions, I would say. It might have been my first audition in LA actually.
Wow.
So I was like outside of like AMDA like
yeah
types of auditions, but like yeah, that was like actually like one of the scariest moments I've had out here. I was just like I was mortified. I was so mortified in that moment.
Especially because like I can't get there in 10 minutes. Like
right, and I'm like, this is a horrible first impression.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Definitely stressful. Not anywhere near my best moment, but
at least it worked. It ended up working out.
Yeah.
But good reminder to like triple check the
I
addresses and the
like
information.
extra time now. No,
Yeah.
I triple check I did it on the way here. I was like, am I going to the right place?
Yeah. Because something so small like that, and it's like, damn. And accidents happen. Things happen. Like, you misread something. I've totally gone to, like, a wrong address for something before, you know? But, yeah, I understand the stress that you
No, I was literally, like, I had my friend on the phone. I'm, like, driving my car. I'm, like, trying to, like, not let tears ruin my makeup. I'm, like, oh, my God. And then it's, like, worse because then you're, like, sitting in LA traffic, and all you can do is think about it. And you're, like, oh, my God. What do I do? Like, this is awful. Like,
and you had prepared yourself.
I know. I was feeling so good before it, too. And it was just, like, a complete 180. I was like, oh, my gosh.
Damn.
But, yeah.
Well, at least it worked out. And that was
right.
So, if you were starting over, or for someone that wants to be in your shoes, what advice would you have for them?
I would say, while it is important to, like, do your research and, like, know vaguely where you want to go, like, be open-minded to, like, straying from the path that you originally had in your head for yourself. Because I, like, was, like, dead set on, like, how I thought it was going to play out and, like, time frames and things. And just, like, I learned that, like, it takes a lot more patience than anticipated, and like doors are going to open and things that like you didn't expect that will lead you to like other opportunities, or you'll find like a whole new side of things that like you didn't know that you would enjoy as much as you did. And like now like I've learned like I love the K-pop world. I think it's so awesome. I think that whole like the music genre, like the whole art behind it, I think it's awesome. And like I was never like really involved in that until I started like doing jobs in that world. And it was just like, so now I know like I like that side of the industry. I think that's super awesome. And so I just say like keep an open mind. And also I was super guilty of it when I first got out here, the comparing game like we talked about earlier. Like while it is like you can see what other people did to get to where they went, like you don't have to do exactly what they did. And it's not like that was their way of getting to where they went. And like it's never going to happen exactly the same for everybody. So like just trust yourself and like trust your abilities and like this is gonna sound so cheesy. Follow your heart. But like
but
yeah, like follow your heart. And like if you feel that like while it's not what so and so did and how they got there, if you feel like going this route could benefit you more, like do it. Like don't just do it because your favorite dancer did it or this person booked this job by doing this and they were super successful. Like it's such a unique experience for everybody. And I think it's, like I said, like nothing will ever happen exactly the same for everybody. So be okay with like not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, be okay with unexpected things happening and also doing what's right for you. Because even though it was right for someone else doesn't mean it's going to be right for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And for anyone that wants to get into the K-pop world, dance back up for K-pop or dance for BTS, what advice would you have for them? And how'd you get to where you were with them?
I don't know. This was like going into K-pop was like I said, something super unexpected and kind of like presented itself in like a weird like divine timing way. It was like never an industry that I like ever like saw myself getting into.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can say like exactly like some like concrete advice I'd give, but just like I said, like do your research. Like definitely it's like its own style of like music and like even the dancing I feel like is very unique. Like you see that comes out of a lot of groups. And so kind of like study it, like become familiar with it, like know like who you want to take. And like I said, social media is huge. Like learn who you want to connect with and like who knows who. And like if there's like a certain group, like kind of just that's a tricky one. I don't know if like I'm super qualified to like give I mean I don't know, fuck. Like I don't know, like in the sense of like I didn't like
is it like knowing the right people?
I feel like it's knowing the right people. It's having the right like presentation of yourself and like carrying yourself the correct way. And like definitely like the way you dance is like a big part of it. So and also like obviously as this plays into everything, but like kind of like figure out like your look and like you know like as for any job, not just K-pop, like certain looks will go for certain jobs and like all those things. So
totally. And
yeah, that's a tricky one.
But like you said, like all those dances that come out of K-pop, like if someone's interested in doing that, learning those dances, getting familiar with the dance style, because it is different. Yeah. So I think that is good advice. And
yeah, like even if it's like you're learning them on TikTok, like those are always super fun. Like and that's like TikTok is like now another like huge hub for like I feel like a lot of like stuff circulates there, and like that's where a lot of people go to like, oh well, it's always like what's your Instagram and your TikTok. Like it's never just Instagram now. It's always what's your Instagram and your TikTok, and that's also like a major like video platform where like you can like see a lot of like you could post videos of yourself dancing, or like there is like a large outreach, like videos like do really well on there and like go international. And so it's like even then like you can market yourself on there and kind of like put yourself out there that way.
Yeah. And a big mentor of yours is Jojo Gomez. She's been a big advocate in your corner.
Oh, for sure.
What is the best piece of advice you've learned from her?
There's so much. I could talk about that woman forever. I love her so dearly. I'm literally going to see her after this,
Aw.
actually. And so, I don't know if it's like a singular piece of advice, but I'd say just like kind of like more of like a mentality that she's like really instilled in me is like kind of like the one I was talking about where it's like I know like it's almost like a sort of confidence, but that's not cocky. Like just like I am a lot more secure in myself, and she kind of instilled like a confidence that I definitely lacked before, and like just being more sure of myself and trusting myself within my dancing. And while of course like she's made a huge difference like physically in my training, like she is like I think the reason that a lot of it shows physically is that confidence and like love and support that she's like instilled in us like shows when I dance now, which is like I can like I definitely am like I had a problem looking down as a kid, and I like my old dance teacher used to always tell me that I looked down, and like it was like a running problem, and like now like it's never like an issue of like I'm looking down, like I can look into a camera and not like be scared of it. Like it's not as intimidating anymore because you know like I wouldn't be there if I didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like I earned and I worked to get here. And so also I'd say a major thing that she's also shown me is that like whether it's like her with her friends or like we have a group of mentees that are like they're like most of my closest friends out here that like I train with them all the time, that just like supporting each other's success will never affect your own. Like I hate the idea that it's like, oh, I can't tell you about an audition because I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never like they're like that unhealthy competition was always so like it was just kind of weird to me. I'm like if I was going to book that job, you being there wouldn't make a difference. Like if anything we'd both book it and then we have a friend on it. That's awesome. Like I had two of my closest friends, one of them who I trained with who was on Victoria's Secret with me, and I think that was super awesome. And like I just think like you'll get so much further if like truly like being kind and being supportive. Like you're just it's that you're that much more enjoyable to be around, and like people can see when you are like it's just being I don't know. She's just like I don't even know how to put it into words.
Aww.
But she's like really like just shown me that like you can be a good person and a good dancer at the same time, and that's like actually the best way to do it.
Yeah. That's great. Like, what a great takeaway from her. And she just exudes power and confidence. And so it's also great that
she is such a boss bitch.
She is.
Wow, obsessed with her.
And last question: are you living your dream? What's next for you?
Oh, 1,000%. And I wouldn't even say like living the dream like just because of like a tour or anything, but like I was like thinking about this the other day in the sense of like if you would have even told high school me that I'm like living out here and just getting to train out here, like I would be so excited. Like I remember sitting in my room and like watching the YouTube videos of everyone and like Team Millie and like everyone training and like all those people that I was like obsessed with growing up, and now like being in the same rooms or same circles as them is like such like a like I like have to remind myself sometimes that it's like I'm constantly like, okay, what's next? But like, no, like I am actively doing what I wanted to do and what I've talked about for so long. So like that alone is something to be proud of. So I'm like, I'm definitely like, I would say, I'm definitely living the dream, but it's like the tour was just like really the cherry on top.
Totally. Well, Reagan, thank you so much for coming on Call Sheet Confessions.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Tell everyone where we can follow and support you. I think right there.
Okay, this one. My Instagram and my TikTok are Reagan.Valerie with 3 E, so it's REAGAN.VALERI and then EEE. And so
Awesome.
See me on there.
Well, I can't wait to see you do this next leg of the tour and to see what you do after that.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And thank you for watching this episode of Call Sheet Confessions. Always make sure to work hard and chase the dream. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. May your call times be reasonable and your checks be on time. And like my Mimi always says, break a leg, but not really. Bye.